Cape Town International, the third busiest airport on the African continent and second largest of the airports operated by the Airports Company of South Africa, is reflecting a robust recovery from the consequences of the COVID pandemic that decimated air travel throughout the world. Passenger numbers had slumped by an alarming 78% from a peak of 10.8 million passengers to a lowly 2.4 million passengers passing through the airport during the following year of the 2019-2020 season. According to reports, however, international air travel and passenger movements has since recovered, and airline passenger movements at Cape Town are back to more than 10 million passengers per year.
So, Robin, especially on the international side, we're still seeing good growth on the international side. So currently for this peak season, we're forecasting that international numbers will still be about 20% higher than it was pre-COVID. But we are seeing a slowdown of growth in some of our markets. So for example, the US, we're seeing that it's not going to grow as last year, and that's probably because of the US elections that we're seeing may have an impact there. But in terms of other markets like Europe, the South American market, Africa, they are still seeing good growth. So for those markets, we're forecasting about a 6% improvement.
Mark McLean, the Regional General Manager of AXA, has cautioned that commencing early next year in February, during the dry summer season, essential runway maintenance work will happen each night between the hours of midnight through to 6 a.m.
So every 5 to 7 years, normally 7 years, is because, and it's depending on the frequency of movements that you put onto the asphalt pavement, you have to resurface the pavement of the runway, which is replacing the top surface. So we've got a ultra thin friction coarse layer on top of the runway, and you need to replace it so that you maintain the level of friction on the runway, you make sure that you don't have delamination of the surface, and that of course also ensure that water runoff off the surface, etc. is maintained. So it's a very important project that needs to run cyclically and normally every 7 years, and it's due now.
The project will, however, affect some late-night flight schedules and ultimately travel plans for some passengers. The airport will, however, continue to function normally from 6 in the morning through until midnight during the time of the period of maintenance to the runways.
So we'll make sure that for normal operating hours, traffic is not impacted upon, but the only impact we had that is because we're closing at around 12:30, some airlines needed to fly or change their schedule to slightly earlier than was normal. And because of that, there's other issues around not getting all the connecting passengers, for example, that they used to be able to get. So they are forecasting a slight decrease in numbers, but again, it's a forecast.
With an expected growth set at 16.6% per annum, passenger numbers at Cape Town International can, within the next 25 years, grow to an expected 45 million passengers per annum. To keep abreast of this growth, Cape Town International Airport will undergo phased expansion programs. Commencing in 2026 will be the much vaunted construction of a new realigned 3.5 kilometer runway and terminal buildings suited for large Airbus A380 type aircraft to operate into Cape Town.
We had a build program to increase capacity at the airport, and we were going to start that program in 2020, and because of COVID, we put a lot of those major expansion projects on hold. But I'm pleased to say that we have now received the necessary approvals to restart that major project development, and there are quite a few projects that are now going to start. The one is a new realigned runway, which will be a orientation 1836. The current runway will become a parallel taxiway, and we'll have a brand new runway that will be able to accommodate Code F movements, and that will also increase the capacity of throughput on the runway from 30 movements an hour to 45 movements an hour. So we're currently busy with all the planning, the preparation to go out to tender on that project, and that project is forecasted to currently start in 2026 for completion in 2029.